All right. From the beginning. In the summer of last year, I wanted to push myself a little further outside of my comfort zone. And I thought maybe I should apply to residencies. So I did. I applied to what felt like a slew of artist residencies. And mind you, I had a lot of time to sit with the ideas that I wanted to put forth. Some ideas felt personal or very exciting, and I just knew that if I had the time, space, or resources, I would want to pursue them. And I've always been this person that has to try. Yes, fear and wanting to do something can feel very overwhelming, but I would assume that if I don't pursue these ideas, it would feel a lot worse. So I applied and applied and applied. And I was denied by every single one of them. And when I shared this experience with my peers, a lot of them immediately would frown at the idea of me not getting something because they believe in my talents. And mind you, so do I. But I had to assure myself that in order for me to put myself out there, I had to be comfortable with the possibility of it not being my time yet. I believe there's so many layers to the world of art. And for me, the biggest complexity is finding your voice in a world that really wants you to stick to a market. And I necessarily wasn't comfortable with that at that moment. So perhaps rejection, was the right answer for that moment. After undergoing a period of time of dealing with rejection, I had to immediately leave to Florida to take care of my parents because one of my parents was recovering from surgery. And so mind you, if you know Lakeland, you know there's nothing to do. And I had a lot of time on my hands. So I created this routine where I would wake up super early in the morning, give myself a lap around the lake with a cup of coffee, so I can give myself time to answer the questions and concerns that I had about my future. This routine kept me sharp and ambitious, especially during a period of time where I was not connected to my creative self. Life was calling for me to be focused elsewhere. I had to be a daughter. I had to be a strong daughter, and I was nowhere near being a strong creative daughter. And that's what life will do sometimes. Life will call you to certain things. And so throughout that entire experience, I wanted to be sure that even though I wasn't in the state of creating, I was in the state of being creative by keeping my mind, like I said, sharp and ambitious. In late October, I finally left Lakeland after being there for over a month. And I decided that I would take, I believe, an 18 to 20-hour solo road trip back to New York. And during that drive, I asked myself a lot of questions, and I spoke out loud with a lot of candidness and honesty. And something that I kept coming back to is I still yearned to have a space where I can better my craft. I yearn to have opportunities to learn, because if you know me, then you know that I really want to be a student to the world of art. I am not above learning, and the more that I can learn, the more connected I feel to what I'm doing. So then I thought, whatever future space I end up being in, is there a chance for me to seek opportunities that will open up the doors for others that want to learn as well? The idea of on campus came to me during that road trip. I remember being in the Citizen M lobby in Washington, D.C., and I just busted out laughing because I began to think, am I really gonna try to facilitate a residency of my own, knowing damn well I was rejected by every single one of them? Maybe they saw something I don't see. And maybe for me, that's a good thing, because I know that me as a person, I am a combination of things that people often refuse, which is ambition, audacity, fear, discomfort. So even though I laughed, I believed it. I really believed that, why else would this idea come to you? And why do you feel so passionate about it? And I think back to how I grew up as a child and the environments that I grew up in and the environments that I had to learn in that were very discouraging for me to learn. A lot of these environments mimicked my household. And when I think about the innocence of child and the creative play of it all, if your environments look like where you live, oftentimes that incites fear. And so I think this want really just comes from that I didn't have that. So once I took some time to settle back into Brooklyn, I opened up my laptop, launched Google Docs, and I just let out a brain dump of this idea, which I felt was really patient and waiting for me. Because I'm also someone that believes that ideas come and go. If you don't have the audacity to act on an idea, it's gonna find someone that will. So on November 14th, I do a brain dump, and then by November 25th, I am cold emailing Industry City to ask for availability to hop on a call. After having that initial call, I learned that there is a synergy there to continue to nurture the creative collective. And after we set some terms, I finally signed the agreement in March of this year. What is On Campus? On Campus is an artist-led residency that will allow me to facilitate monthly programming until the end of the year. The programming is centered around creative enrichment. So think of guest lectures, workshops, artist experiences, artist installation, mixers, and a lot of moments of creative play. All of this in motion is in hopes that it brings togetherness. When I was looking back at photographs from the 1980s, I saw some of the greats in the same room. They were working together, collaborating, ideating, or just being in community. And fast forward to now, I know that's such a hot word, but I think you and I can both agree that community is needed more than ever, and that no creative should go without materials, resources, or the opportunity to learn in an environment that evokes creative expression. The monthly events will be free, and most of them will be open to the public. Not only do I want this space to be of my own, but to those that may need materials or a place to work out of. So what are the next steps? On Campus will soft launch in May. I'm currently working on 2 exciting events that will be invite only, but this just gives me a chance to test it out, see what's needed before I open it to the public. But if you want to stay updated on this residency and see how it's evolving, you can click the link in the description to sign up. If you are a brand that's watching this that wants to sponsor the arts, or an artist that wants to activate and be a part of this, hit my line. My email is also in the description below. I can't wait to stop talking about it and just be about it. I look forward to having so many beautiful moments in this studio, and I look forward to seeing what this brings for both you and I. Welcome to On Campus. I've been waiting to say that. Like, that was my line. Like, I dreamt about that line.